Welcome back to Dirty Briefs with Alex Hooper. Hi everyone, I am back for another Dirty Brief. When you were a child, did you ever have to write a letter to an important person? Maybe it was an elementary school assignment, or maybe you just had a celebrity that you really liked and you wanted to write them a letter. Back in my day, we couldn't just DM whoever we wanted and hope that they would respond. No, we would send a letter in the mail and the postman would pick it up, or post lady. I had a postman personally, post person would pick it up, and then they would take it in the mail to the celebrity's house. And hopefully you would get back an autographed picture or maybe a VHS copy of a favorite movie that they did. Either way, if you ever got something back, it was very exciting. So, on this dirty brief, I wanted to share with you a letter that I wrote when I was 9 years old to, at the time, a man who was my absolute favorite celebrity. He was so important to me that I had to write a letter and hope that he responded. So I'm going to read you that letter. Are you ready? Here we go. Dear Mel Gibson, my name is Alex and I'm 9 years old. Have you ever been 9 years old? Your face looks like it has been aging since the 1800s. How old are you? The 1800s were a long time ago. I just learned in school that slaves were legal back then. Did you have any? If so, what were their names? Did you get to name them yourself, or were they like dogs from the pound that come with a name, like Biscuit or Milton or Nipples? My dad used to call our dog Nipples because she has so many. One time I counted 17. Can you believe that, Mel? 17 nipples. One time, I tried to drink milk out of one of the nipples, and my dad caught me. I had barely even gotten one drop when the door opened, and there I was, holding our beagle in the air, sucking on what felt like a tiny acorn. My dad was furious. He immediately grabbed Nipples and yelled at me. Then he put his mouth on her belly and showed me the proper way to suck milk out of them. I'd been doing it all wrong. My dad teaches me lots of stuff. Do your kids teach you things as well, Mel? I could easily see you teaching your son what women want or telling your daughter about how passionate Christ is. I love your movies, Mel. I love them so much that for my third grade class presentation, I dressed up as one of the bad guys in Apocalypto. I've seen that movie 64 times. It's one of my favorites. I wanted to ask, though, why do all the bad guys have brown skin? I go to an all-inclusive school that focuses on feelings, and my teacher, Melissa, says that all people are created equal. Do you also feel that way, Mel? Is Mel short for Melissa? If so, when we meet, can I call you Melissa? I can't wait for your next film. I would love to see you do a movie about the Holocaust. We're learning about it in school, and I don't think anyone's made a movie about it yet. You would be amazing as a Jewish refugee who is escaping to Poland to try and flee persecution. I could also see you as Hitler. You wouldn't even need to act that much. All you need is a mustache, and everything else you do is already perfect for Hitler. I want to be an actor when I grow up. I do a really good impression of you, Mel. My dad sometimes drinks too much beer, and he hits me. He didn't used to, but ever since Mom ran away with Uncle Tony, he gets mad a lot. It can really hurt. He usually cries when he's doing it. He says that it hurts him just as much, and if Mom hadn't been such a whore, we could have stayed a happy family. I don't know what that means. Is a whore similar to a horse? Is that why Mom ran away? Because she's secretly a horse? Does that mean I'm part horse? I hope so, because I think horses are beautiful. Remember in Braveheart when you rode a horse through the battlefield? That's one of my favorite parts. If my mom is a horse, I hope Uncle Tony is riding her every day. I know you would ride her, Mel. But here's my impression of you. Are you ready? This is what I yell when my dad takes off his belt and leans me over a chair. Give me back my son! Usually, once I start screaming, he stops hitting me. Give me back my son! Ransom is one of his favorite films, and he says I sound just like you when I say it. What do you think, Mel? Is that good? Give me back my son! I also love Lethal Weapon 4. You and Mr. Glover are so funny together. I like when he says, I'm too old for this poop. I'm giggling just thinking about it. He doesn't say the word poop, though. He uses another word, but if I say it, my dad takes off his pants and locks me in my room. So, I don't say that word. I just say poop. Are words bad, Mel? I thought it was about intention and not the words themselves. How could a word be bad? If I told you that you are one gorgeous fucking hunk who traps clam on the daily, that doesn't sound bad at all. But still, I don't want my dad to get mad. Last year for Halloween, we dressed up as Riggs and Murtaugh. He smeared nail polish all over my face, and everyone thought I was a chimney sweep. Then I would do my impression. Instead of trick or treat, I would ring the doorbell and yell, "Give me back my son!" The people were so confused, but they would always give me candy. My favorite are M&Ms. Did you hear that all the M&Ms are ladies now? My dad said it's because the matriarchy is attempting to collapse the system. Whatever that means. It's the same reason we can't have abortions anymore. My dad told me that an abortion is when you kill a baby. If that's true, I bet you've had thousands of abortions, Mel. I hate when babies cry, so I think abortions are good. No more crying babies. I have another question, Mel. Is it true that you're going to make a sequel to The Passion of the Christ? I love that movie so much. My dad says it's not a comedy, but I laugh so much every time they kill Jesus. I mean, come on! We all know Jesus is immortal, like Thor or the Wiggles. When you film the new movie, can I be in it? I've been practicing really hard, and I think I would make a good God. Give me back my son! I don't think my dad would hit me anymore if I was in one of your movies, Mel. Sometimes he hits me really hard, and he tells me he doesn't want to hit me, but this is what my mother did to him. You would never hurt a woman, right, Mel? I know you wouldn't. You also wouldn't get drunk and drive a car like him. I think it's wrong, but my dad says if I want to be in the school play, he has to drink to get through it. I tried beer once. It tasted like the bottom of a sneaker. My dad must love eating shoes because he's always drinking beer. Mel, I hope I get to meet you one day. It would be my dream. I want to tell you in person that you kind of look like the maple tree that's on my street. It has the same ridges as your face. I have to go soon because my dad is almost home, and he's going to want to watch Daddy's Home too. If I don't already have it playing, well, you know, he hits. Is Mr. Wahlberg nice? Dad says 9/11 wouldn't have happened if Mr. Wahlberg had been on the plane. 9/11, what he told me, is when brown people got mad at America. You definitely would have stopped them if you were on that plane, Mel. You're a superhero. You're my superhero. I love you, Mel. Please send back an autographed picture so I can show it to my teacher, Melissa, who doesn't believe that you're a good person. But she's wrong. You would probably see her and call her a horse. But she can also be nice sometimes. Thank you, Mel. Sincerely, Alexander. I never did get that autographed picture, but one day maybe I'll be in a film with Mel. Are they making Lethal Weapon 5? Could I be in Passion of the Christ too? Maybe then my dad would stop leaning me over a chair and smacking me with all the force in the world. That's your dirty brief, everyone. We'll see you next time, but in the meanwhile, don't soil yourself. Remember to follow me on Instagram at Hooper Hairpuff and subscribe to this podcast because you never know what you're going to get. A letter to Mel Gibson from 9-year-old Alex? Come on! Where else are you getting this content? Subscribe, like it, comment, share it. I love you. See you soon.